city of Mosby. I just talked to legal counsel, and evidently we're not.
I just don't think it's ready. I've talked with the mayor of Mosby. And their concern is that they think that they have to pay for the insurance on the vehicles while they're being used. I've assured them that the vehicles are covered. That's not necessarily a concern. That's not something that we've asked for. That's not the intent of the agreement. The mayor has contacted the insurance company from Mosby, who apparently is not yet persuaded by the mayor. I've asked the mayor to have the insurance company contact me. He didn't have the information directly on hand, so I asked him to have them contact me. And they have not done that yet. From our perspective, it's ready to go. Mosby's not ready to sign it because they don't have a comfortable on the insurance issue. My request will be to keep it on immediate action next week.
Is there a timing? And I don't. Let me wait. I don't mean to ignore the sheriff and the captain. It seems to me that if we can provide the city of Mosby with the proper documentation, but on the other hand, I certainly would not want to rush any municipalities into anything that they didn't feel comfortable with.
Yeah, the hard part is, obviously Mosby's a small community. He didn't understand really what exactly the insurance company had concern with, which is why I asked me to have them contact me. His quote to me was, they said they don't want to. So I'm a little bit stuck because I don't have any information to contact them. They're not contacting me at this point. I talked to him again this morning just to see if it was ready, and it still isn't. So we are ready. We have been ready for a couple months now. So I'm a little bit stuck until they decide what it is they don't like at this point.
Just to be clear, what is their situation as far as law enforcement goes? Perhaps that's a better question to refer to the captain. Go ahead, please, before you answer my question, go ahead and say what you come up to say, and then if you wouldn't mind addressing that, please.
Captain Steve Siercks of the Clay County Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff Vescovo, Clay County Sheriff.
The Sheriff's Office is responding to emergency calls and any calls requiring law enforcement presence or response to Mosby as it is. We just don't have people stationed down there on an hourly, regular basis at their behest or at their payment. So, we provide law enforcement services to them as needed, but we're not maintaining a paid station there or a paid placement of our deputies there at this time.
We're responding to calls for service, basically.
What is the, if we're able to satisfy the city as far as the insurance on the cars, which I assume is the main sticking point right at the moment. I don't know anything beyond that. What is the gap in service between what we are able to provide right now and what this agreement would allow us to provide for the citizens of Mosby?
I think that the request from Mosby, and like you are doing currently with Holt, is that you have a regular identifiable presence of sheriff's deputies there on that location for a deterrent factor and assurance of the public that there's public safety response there. We still respond. It's not as quick as if we were actually being paid by Mosby and stationed in Mosby when we get the call, but we still respond to calls for service.
So it's really a matter of this will help enhance response time, which obviously is the goal that we all have, especially in emergency services.
And provide a deterrent effect.
Absolutely. There's nothing more, I would suppose, of a deterrent than a law enforcement officer being in the immediate vicinity for those who are not exactly. Yes. I think that I'm inclined to follow the advice of legal counsel as far as this goes, but let's go ahead and have a discussion. Commissioner, do you have anything?
I have a question. We're providing services as needed now. And so when we sign this, what does it change? What changes? Are we going to be providing presence there in the city of Mosby?
Yes, you're going to have specific patrol activity within the city limits, a designated number of hours actually in the city providing law enforcement service and deterrent. Dedicated to the city, and which the city is going, and then the city is going to,
And they will pay.
and they will pay for that. Yes,
The pay the deputies directly.
pay the deputies directly.
So I'm like, we're going along with Kevin, is that, I mean, we are providing services now, but we're not providing that until we get this on.
They're not without law enforcement, it's just not at the level that, that they wish to enter into the contract and pay for the extra patrol.
Yeah, what impact, if any, does this have on that little bit of the airport, Clay County Airport, that is in Mosby? You're just, I mean, you're responding as necessary, because I think the access going to it is Mosby, I think. So you just respond as needed.
Well, as needed, any incident that went on Mosby. Now, the deputies are still on patrol and patrolling those areas.
Right.
You know, they each have a sections that they patrol. But,
Is there any way, I mean, and maybe this is a question for legal counsel, it seems like that our insurance company agrees that we're responsible for the insurance on the vehicles. That's part of what Mosby's paying for. Can we get a statement from our insurance company that just says, look, this is part of our coverage, and move forward? Because the only other alternative is, maybe I'm thinking that Mosby's satisfied with the level of protection that they're getting right now.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly, I'm sensing frustration from the mayor. They would like patrolling, they would like to have dedicated patrolling their city. The problem I've got, and I thought about this, I thought about dropping somewhere in the agreement, a sentence that says this specifically excludes this. But the problem I've got is I'm not sure that's good enough. I think it would be, but I'm just getting zero feedback about what they're actually, because as I read the document, I don't see any problem with what he's telling me. And the problem, my concern is that the insurance company is going through him. You know, listen, he's not the most sophisticated mayor that I deal with, and I'm not sure I'm getting good information back from him as to what the real problem is. I'm willing to take a shot and see if it passes their review. That's kind of where we are.
Do they have legal counsel?
They do.
Oh,
And he hasn't contacted me either.
oh,
Apparently documents have been in his office for a while too.
oh.
He was supposed to be getting to me.
Well, I suppose the only thing that we can do to make this move forward is, I mean, we all agree that the vehicles, that we're providing coverage for the vehicles. If that sentence helps,
I'm fine with dropping that sentence in there. You guys pass it, you guys sign it, we send it on to them, and they've now got something signed in front of them.
the only thing that concerns me at all is it looks like that we're going to be, that this is going to become a standard type of agreement. And I kind of hate to vary from the agreement that currently exists with another community.
That's why if we do something, I would like it to be written in a very general way, we can then do it again the next time.
Okay, all right.
And that is the only concern I have, that is that we may well see other communities in the same situation. And it seems to me this is our first, or is it one of our first?
This is our second time on it. This is something we've done historically, you know, the last 10, 15 years, off and on. A few months ago, we picked up Holt, and at that time, I worked with the Sheriff Department to work on what I think is a good standard agreement, so we can use as a template the next time, so we're not reinventing the wheel every time.
Exactly, and that was kind of where I was going with that, was it seems to me to be a standard kind of operating procedure in these situations, because we may well have more than these two instances. So certainly we want to work with the city as much as possible, but we can't negotiate with ourselves.
So, yeah, my idea is that I'm happy to do something in general, but one of the things I'm looking at is, are we going to be okay with that wording for other communities? And are we going to be okay with that wording for Holt when they were new? And I think, I can come up with something that I think can work.
And I could imagine, and it is the responsible thing for the leadership involved to do, and that is to see what we do here and take that into account when their contract renews. So yeah, I think we need to continue reaching out. We can't, like I said, we can't negotiate with ourselves on this thing. It's just not a good place for us to be.
My fear is that the Mosby account is not a really big account for this insurance company. So getting them to drop what they're doing to talk to the lawyer for the county is probably not higher than this insurance company to do in this field.
Sheriff, Captain, did you have any other comments? Like I said, the intention I have is to suggest that we put this on meeting action for next time, and hopefully we have some further communication.
I have no issue with that.
Mr. Council, just as a